There we go. Good morning, everybody. Forecaster Josiah Acheampong here with your weather update for this morning. Taking a look right now at our radar and water vapor imagery. What you'll see here are a couple things. One, you'll see the showers and storms still located over portions of the central and eastern panhandles region, even some over portions of eastern New Mexico. But the main body of moisture really starting to lift up and away into portions of central Kansas, impacting places like Wichita, Kansas City, and even Omaha, Nebraska, getting in on some rainfall. But taking a closer look at our area, Clovis, New Mexico. We are going to look at you this morning through our webcam. Temperature cooler this morning, but overcast conditions right now. Seems that you do have some rain off into the northern portion of your area, so you might end up with some rain in just a little bit. Taking a look at that area, you can see this line of some steady rain, possibly some thunder associated with this storm, but overall weaker, making its way into the area. Taking a look at the central panhandles region, areas just east of Amarillo, just along I-40, you're probably getting in on some rainfall as well, but the heavier batches of rain still located north and east in places like Canadian, as well as heading over into portions of Lipscomb County as well over the next half hour into hour. Now, radar estimates of rainfall indicate that Borger has picked up around 3 inches of rain, Pampa just shy of an inch, as well as Dumas and Shamrock. Amarillo, looks like the south side probably of Amarillo coming in around 4/4 of an inch of rain. Dalhart coming in around just shy of 3/4 of an inch of rain. But what you will notice here are a couple things. One, there was a sharp cutoff where the heavier batches of rain ended up. If you were south of I-40, more or less, you didn't really tap into any rainfall. Um, but in the process, Borger and Amarillo both set new daily records for yesterday. Amarillo picked up 1.61 inches of rain, beating their previous record of 1.36 inches of rain set back in 1919. Borger picked up 2 inches of rain yesterday during the 24-hour period, beating their previous record of 1.43 inches set back in the 1980s. Now, as we go into what's going on currently, right now we're doing mostly cloudy skies. We're still cool. Temperatures in the 50s as we deal with that northerly wind, making it feel cooler out there, but it also feels refreshing. But again, you might want to grab a light sweater as you head out the door. Now, over the next couple of hours or so, it's gonna be a struggle. Temperatures dealing in the 50, hovering in the 50s this morning. We'll try and recover to just shy of 70 degrees around lunchtime, but we still have to deal with those off and on showers, weak showers this morning. Taking a look at our model, we go throughout this afternoon. Temperatures are on the cooler side, struggling to get out of the 70s, mainly due to the cloud cover. Although, if the further south you are, you're most likely going to reach the low to mid 80s as well. Now, heading into this evening, can't rule out some isolated storms, especially along our southern counties, especially where that front kind of stalled out. But I do think the overall threat for today is fairly low, but again, can't be ruled out. Heading into the overnight hours into tomorrow morning, isolated storms still possible. Cooler tomorrow morning, again in the 50s and 60s, but will warm up tomorrow afternoon nicely. We could have some additional moisture try to make its way into portions of eastern New Mexico and then try to make its way into the Panhandles region, but I do think they might just fall apart. Heading into Saturday morning, we're dealing with cloud cover and cooler conditions, but we'll warm up nicely back above average on that day. We still do have a severe component possible with some of these storms. We have a marginal risk mainly for areas east, including Shamrock and Clarendon. That's going to be for half dollar size tail, winds up to 70 miles an hour for some of the stronger storms that try to develop. Taking a look at our forecast for the next 2 days. Today, temperatures cooler, isolated storms possible. Tonight, dealing with mostly cloudy to partly cloudy conditions. Cooler though in the 50s, but will warm back up tomorrow into the 80s. Our next weather maker, it's quite complicated. So we have this weak northwest flow aloft as a ridge builds out in the southwest over portions of New Mexico. Now, as we head into early next week, there are a couple of pieces that we are looking at. First, we have this piece of energy, which is tropical remnants trying to make its way into portions of California. That's giving them some rain and also some flooding concerns as well. Now, as we look more into the Panhandles region, you'll notice this kind of like lightish, close to bluish blob centered over portions of Colorado as well as western Nebraska. no, well, western Nebraska as well as Kansas, that's going to be an upper level disturbance that's going to break down what we probably call a cutoff low. Um, and it'll just kind of dive into the heartland. And right now, we're not expecting much in the way of precip out of it, but it may temporarily cool us down as we get cooler conditions, as the jet stream kind of buckles as that storm makes its way through. But then right behind it, we do have that temporary ridging, but I'm keeping my eye on that moisture coming in from the west. Also, in addition, in terms of our temperatures, it's going to be quite mild heading throughout the weekend. Looking at Sunday, we'll warm back into the 80s and 90s across the area. And then heading into the first day of fall, well, it's still feeling like summer with highs approaching 90 degrees to kick off autumn. But what you will notice is that much of the country is at or above average for this time of year. So milder conditions to stick it to cap off the end of summer. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, cooler today, highs in the 70s, warming up tomorrow. Isolated threats stick around throughout the next couple of days, but we dry out just in time for fall, although it feels more like summer. Hope you all take care, have a great rest of your day, and remain weather aware.